Hello, my name is Cassity Egan. I am making this video for my YouTube channel, so you do not have to subscribe or like because I am not doing any more of these. This is my reflection for reading 350. And of course, I've made some notes so that I can stay on track. Some things that I've learned through my experience in this class and just being a part of the school system is the motivation that it takes for the teacher and the student. So in the teacher's role, I've got the attitude, the community and culture that you create, instruction and rewards. With your attitude, you need to show your students that you care about them. Just continue to build that relationship so that they have that encouragement of wanting to be in your class every day, which goes along with the community and culture that you create in your class, which is nurturing and warm and inviting. And when you have a positive environment, your kids come in. And I also saw a study where it talked about a positive environment also has higher attendance rates because kids want to come to school. They don't fake sick. Your instruction, creating that structure in your class, making sure that your students know what is expected, the routines, the class management, and also rewards. Under rewards, it says use positive feedback rather than external rewards. All right, next step is something that really just made me think hard about was the little things that interest a young one's mind, such as singing, modeling, repetition of the structure, and play centers. They grasp so much in their daily singing. Like, I know in my class we sing counting to 100, and then we move on to maybe next section would be counting by tens to 100. I have a little girl who is blind and in a wheelchair, and she can't answer. She's almost nonverbal, but if you give her music, she is singing up a storm exactly what needs to be said. I have an example of some play centers. The bank, grocery store, medical, restaurant. All of those are great examples of how a kid is creating that language for kids, how to socially interact, how to further language develop them. And it starts at a very young age, which was interesting because you hear about singing to babies in the womb. Like, do they really grasp that? And they really do. How students develop as readers. So what was interesting to me at this point in our section was there's 3 types of understanding, which is emergent, beginning, and fluent. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Beginner is, I only have about 2 students in this one. Beginning is developing an interest, learning the alphabet, things like that. Then you move on to beginner, and beginner, I feel like, are most of my kids in my class, learning phonics skills, recognizing 100 high-frequency words, applying early reading strategies, write 5 or more sentences, spell. We don't do a lot of spelling in our class. They are responsible for like keypads and stuff. Capitalizing letters, how to use punctuation in a sentence, and fluence. The main thing that I highlighted was use decoding and comprehension strategies effectively. Effectively. I feel like those are really good key points because when we are reading, they're able to read, but also use their knowledge in what they read to remember and think outside the box of comprehension strategies. Learning the difference between assessment and evaluation. In a classroom, I could daily assess, so that's making sure that what I'm teaching is meeting the IEP goals that each child has. So assessment is maybe a daily work, and the evaluation is seeing how much they grasp from those assessments so that I can create those progress reports for each student to see how far they've come. Evaluation, it says, refers to the decision making itself about how well the student has progressed. Then you have assessment, which refers to the collection and interpretation of data to inform decision making. Assessment can be formative or summative. Then we have a good checklist for that, which is observation, conferences, checklists, students' work samples, rubrics, multimodal assessment. Sorry if I said that wrong. Those are all ways of showing documentation of assessing the student for their evaluation. And then another major thing we had in class was the 12 comprehension strategies, which are activating background knowledge, connecting, determining importance. You don't want to have a lot of fluff in your lesson because they're not going to grasp what the main idea is. Drawing inferences, evaluating, monitoring, predicting, questioning, repairing, setting a purpose, summarizing, and visualization. And to me, you think back and you think about, how does one begin to read? How do they learn to read? And I think it all falls back into the emergent, beginning, and fluent levels of each section. To answer the questions, how has this course shaped you as a teacher, and what was your greatest takeaway from this course? This course had a lot of information in it, and so I think that they kind of correspond with each other because as a teacher, you want to do and make the best students that you have. You want them to soar, you want them to excel, you want them to meet every task or TEK that the class has to meet. And so as a teacher, mostly learning the levels of learning and how and what is important during that learning has shaped me as a teacher. What is your greatest takeaway of this course would be more of how I learned from every course that I've had this semester, which is getting the kids to dig deep, not just surface level a lesson, like really going deep into their cognitive level of thinking, getting the most out of any comprehension level that they may have, or any comprehension that sorry, I had to pause and I was getting nervous. Any cognitive level of thinking that can build their comprehension levels as they go on. I have a SPED class, and I have first, second, and third. So of course I have different levels, and it's really helped me create the lesson plans that I need to get their thinking skills flowing. I've had a blast in this class. It's been a lot, but it's been a lot of fun. And so I really can't wait to get my degree and further everything that I have learned. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great Christmas.